Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back to iAllegedly. And I've got a question for you. What is unaffordable? Everything is unaffordable right now. Please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to join our email list. It's in the video description below, but let's get right into this. Affordability. Everybody's talking about it. With Black Friday behind us and them telling us it's the greatest day ever, or oh, people were skittish, or it's good, it's bad, it's terrible, whatever. It's your own truth. And here's some more truth for you. You know, right now we are seeing something that hasn't happened since the pandemic, and that is electricity bills getting shut off at a record pace. And people are having a very difficult time with their personal finances. And the power companies during the pandemic were very, very lenient. You could basically call them and go, I'd like an extension, like another extension. Ooh, honey, payment's going to be due in 2 days. Call them up, get another extension. Well, those days are done. And, they have 18 states right now that are actively shutting people's power off right now for unpaid bills. There is no more, story time. It's done. The problem with it is that energy prices on average have gone up 18%. That's what they're telling us. That's the lie they're telling us. I think they've doubled. They doubled in my, area of the world. So it's just crazy. It's too expensive, and you try to do things to be energy saving, and it just doesn't work. But they are not putting up with anything right now to let people get around this, and it's terrible. It's very, very sad because as winter starts for some of you, hasn't even gotten cold yet. Oh wow, we got our first snow. We got this. You get it. But you're going to see prices for energy go up. There are so many, think about this. There are states, 13 states, that have energy problems and could have shutoffs because of uh, the excessive use of electricity. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. But let's get into a few things else that are unaffordable right now. With, Barack Obama and the, you know, the debacle of 2008, they wanted to create something called the subprime mortgage. And it all fell apart during his reign. Started with George Bush and fell apart with Obama. The problem with the subprime mortgage rate is they had this thing called, ninja loans, which basically were liar loans. You could tell them anything and you could get a loan. Those are back in full force right now. 3.22 million first mortgages were written up until, a couple weeks ago in 2025. That's great. A lot of people borrow money to get their first mortgage on their new home. That sounds wonderful. Problem with it is that over 11% of those are the subprime loans, where people have credit scores below 620. Now, you can sit there and go, who cares, Dan? These people just want to own a house. What you want is, you don't want foreclosures. You don't want a world where people are getting foreclosed upon. And that's the problem that people don't get. And you don't want a world where everybody rents. You want pride of ownership. You want people to take care of their properties and, decorate for the holidays as, Thanksgiving ends and everybody starts bringing out their Christmas lights in my neighborhood. It's like, wow, I got to get on this. So you want that. You know what I mean? You want that in your neighborhood. But you don't want people that can't afford to pay the water bill. So there's no, grass is not green in front of the house. You don't want this. But the problem with this is that the unaffordability, oh my gosh, it's crazy. You've got, an $18.6 trillion in debt. You've got the increase in the delinquencies. My foreclosure friend, Dan, it's on the rise. It's on the rise. Tell everybody. The Jewelry Mart in Los Angeles, the Jewelry Mart. Guys, it's the holiday shopping season. He posted the foreclosure last week at the Jewelry Mart. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, let everybody know. I've done this one before. They'll pull themselves out of it most likely and not go to sale. But the Jewelry Mart. Now, last time he did it, had to deal with a security guard and a guy there that was strapped that was dealing with protecting jewelry. Now, couldn't afford that guy this year, so he got to go post the building without any problem. Oh, Dan, it was crazy. But is it getting busier? It's getting much busier, Dan. The floodgates are about to open on these foreclosures. So here's the thing. People that are lazy and stupid, they just let things go. And instead of saying, gosh, honey, are we going to work ourselves out of this? Now, you hope people work themselves out of problems like this, but you have to be communicative with your bills, the people that you owe money to, whether it be the power company, your mortgage company, whoever. You've got to be able to have these conversations with people so that there's no, so that you don't get shut off, you don't get foreclosed on. Jay doesn't show up at your house to post your house for sale. The next thing is also, you know, of these mortgages that were extended to 10%, you've got $54.6 billion in mortgages to people that cannot afford them. Dun, 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 in my opinion. Okay? And that's risen 20% since the last time they kept these records. The next thing is $17.3 million in auto loans and leases to the subprime market. And again, they're coming after these people. They're not going to let them just slow pay them and give them story time. That's not happening in any way, shape, or form. So, in the early 2000s, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, created government programs to pressure mortgage holders to get everybody into a house. Home ownership for all after 9/11. Isn't that great? Average house went from 208,000 to 420,000 for the average house, which is great. Now, if you paid your house off and you don't need to, make a house payment, you're in great shape. Problem with it is that 99% of these people go out and borrow money against their home. Oh, honey, we got the credit cards racked up to 40 grand. Let's go get a first, we'll just refi and get a first mortgage or a second mortgage, and we'll just make the payment on that too. And then what do? Use the credit cards again. So, the real estate crash of 2008, 2000, since then, between 2009 and 2016, the Fed rate went below 0.75%, and then it creeped up to over 2%. Problem with it is the property prices for everybody and the property loans have gone up extensively during this time. It's just crazy. So, will that create more problems? I think so. Now, the other thing, as far as affordability, you know, during the Barack Obama days, he wanted to make it so that everybody could go out and get a student loan, and you deserved a higher education. In other words, you deserve to be in debt to your eyeballs. I know so many people my age, 55 to 65, let's just put it that way, that still have student loan debt. That is criminal. It's criminal to them. They're embarrassed about it. But people that have borrowed $50,000 that owe $125,000 on their loans now because they took delays and didn't pay and this excuse and that excuse and everything else under the sun. There are people that took out loans for other people and the other people didn't finish school. Dun, dun, dun. Isn't that lovely? Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. You know, one other thing is the average student loan graduate today carries $30,000 in debt. You're lucky if you carry 30 grand in debt. Here's the thing. $30,000 in debt can be paid off relatively quickly if you go and have a diligent plan. So the problem is people don't have a diligent plan, but it's all unaffordable, guys. You have to be able to have a job and make money. Right now we've got Starbucks baristas in like 18 states saying that they want, more rights and higher pay and better work conditions, like their Norma Ray. And it's insane. It's stupid because what it's going to do is going to make guys like me never shop at Starbucks again. And it's going to make people not want to spend $7 on a black coffee. It's just stupid. Why do that? It's funny. When I go to the casinos and I stay there for Vegas, I have a program that I get free Starbucks. It's basically the only time I go there now is that, oh, wow, I get 4 free drinks a day and I can give them to whoever I want. Yeah. Hey, you guys want to go to Starbucks with me? Yeah, sure. Let's go get a drink. It doesn't matter. You want a caramel macchiato, leche, venti, trente, whatever size. Yeah, enjoy. It's on them. Isn't that great? In the 1960s, Washington, D.C. wanted the Great Society. So they came up with Medicaid. You know, at the time, it cost $3 billion in 1967 to set up Medicaid. It has gone up 370 times since then, to where yearly it is $1.2 trillion to fund Medicaid. Okay, again, unaffordable. A few things, guys. This time of the year, make sure you pick your insurance properly. Make sure you ask questions to make sure you're getting the proper benefits. My friend Gary works for a hospital group in security. Doesn't work, not a doctor, not taking claims, but he says, damn, these people make these Medicaid problems and something happens inevitably and they get sick and they get stuck with a bill, $18,000, all these crazy stuff that they're getting paid to see the specialist, or, oh, you can't afford it, you're not going to see him. So make sure you make the wise decision with that. Make sure your beneficiaries are all set on your life insurance and anything you have like that. Make sure that any pensions you have, that you've got, you know, that handled. I mean, it's terrible right now. It's so difficult right now. And I get people that sit there and tell me, oh, it's no big deal. You know, it's not that bad. It is that bad, guys. It's that bad. So have a plan with your finances right now. Oh my gosh. I am blown away with everything that's going on right now. And again, what is affordable? We can't go out to dinner. You can't go to McDonald's right now. It's not that you want to eat that crap, but it's just so expensive that there are no deals right now. There are none. There are none. You know, the Affordable Care Act is a joke. It's an absolute joke. I have insurance through the Affordable Care Act. I'm a single man who they consider to be relatively healthy, and it's well over $1,000 a month for me. You know, you know, no more fossil fuels. So let's have more electric cars. Oh, gosh, you know, inflation, a lot of experts say it's been over 20%, and that we're just finally catching up as prices come down. Prices are still up there. People get confused. People sit there and say, why are my prices not dropping to the 2019 level? They'll never go there again, guys. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. What's going to happen is the price that you're paying right now is going to slow when it goes up. You have to understand that. And again, it's all unaffordable. What is unaffordable? Everything. You know, think about this. What used to cost $80,000 now costs $100,000. Oh my gosh. I talked about the power getting shut off. Pennsylvania, they're advertising, hey, our power bills only went up 21%. Woohoo, woohoo. I mean, it's terrible, guys. It's absolutely terrible. You're going to see more and more problems with this right now. It's just going to happen. And I, you know, I'm sorry for everybody that has to go through this right now because it is terrible. A couple things. Airbus just grounded over the holiday weekend the largest flyer. Airbus uh, has 6,000 airplanes that were grounded because they had a loss of altitude and the planes could be taken over with the software. There could be a software problem. Oh, wow, I want to fly an Airbus today, don't you? So read that story below because it's insane. And, what else? I want to finish this with you guys real quick. Here's one thing. The Amazon Black Friday scams that you get if you get a text on the delivery of anything that you purchase. Here's the thing, the scammers are getting better. Wow, Dan just bought something from Amazon. So we'll send him a text and says, hey, there's a problem with your delivery. Click here. And you put your personal information in. Don't do this. Pick up the phone and call them. Don't do it. Don't give information out. Don't answer questions. It's not anything that you want to do because this is terrible. People's bank accounts are getting drained. People are complaining about this. Oh, here's the final one for you. Let's go green. Let's go and get an electric car. How about this one? In 2028, they're going to start this in England, which looks like it's going to come here. 3 cents a mile for all you people that bought electric cars. 3 cents a mile. So think about it. A guy like me that drives over 40,000 miles a year, I'm going to spend an extra $1,200 if I had an electric car on my auto registration, which is already sky high in California. This will come to a city near you. It really will. You'll see. But go out, hurry, hurry, get that electric car, saving the environment. No, no, we're not making it as much money as we are on Dan paying for gas. So you got to fix that. Email hello@iallegedly.com. Write anytime, send me any stories. But again, what we're living through, you're not imagining this. It's all unaffordable. Okay, it's everything. Everything. You've got to be able to shop smarter, shop better, and try to save money in every way you can. But the problem with it is people hate that. People hate the word frugal. Like, subscribe. I'll see you very soon. Frugal.